my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome to my channel, and today's video is going to be some summer book recommendations, specifically 5 of them. I will have the content warnings I can find linked down below in the description along with links to some resources, and let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with A Forgery of Fate by Elizabeth Lim. And this follows our main character who supports her mother and 2 younger sisters through being a con artist. As a gifted art forger, she is able to paint the future, however even that is not going to be enough to put her family back together and keep the gangsters demanding payment for her mother's gambling debts away. With little option left, she agrees to a marriage contract with a mysterious dragon lord after he offers her family a chance at a fresh start and answers about the disappearance of her father in exchange for living with him in a desolate undersea palace and assisting him in overthrowing the tyrannical Dragon King. This is one of my more recent reads on this list. I brought it to the beach with me, I read it on hot days, and it was an amazing time. You do spend a lot of this book underwater with dragons and other sea and mythical creatures. I love the way they combine the fantasy and the magic with just the setting and the story as a whole. It was very easy to get lost in. It felt like I was reading a fairy tale. We also have some enemies to lovers in here, which I really liked. I also really liked our main character a lot, and I loved the writing style, which makes sense because Elizabeth Lim is one of my favorite authors, and this book does take place in the same universe as a lot of her other books, and I really love those as well. But I also don't necessarily feel like you absolutely have to read those other books in the series in order to read and appreciate this one. And then we have The Honeys by Ryan LaSala. And this follows our main character Mars after their twin sister dies under horrific circumstances. And wanting to learn all that they can about her death, Mars attends the prestigious Aspen Conservatory summer camp and seeks out the Honeys, who are a group of beautiful and terrible girls who tend to the beehives behind their cabin. And Mars is certain that they are connected to the death of their sister. I listened to the audiobook last year, and it's really become one of the books that I think about when I think about summer and when I think about summer horror. Even though I did have some trouble understanding and getting into the horror itself here, it was there, and it's clearly left some sort of impact on me if I'm still thinking about it. I also just really liked and appreciated the concept itself. It felt different from anything that I've ever read, which felt super refreshing. I also thought the relationships were interesting. There's a lot of investigating and navigating that the main character does, and I thought that that was interesting as well. I also just liked our main character and the setting too. And then we have The Romantic Agenda by Claire Kant. And this follows our main character Joy, who is in love with her best friend Malcolm, and this is something that she has been keeping a secret as she has never been brave enough to tell him. However, when he invites her on a weekend getaway to meet the love of his life, who she had no idea even existed, Joy decides that this trip is going to be her last chance to tell him how she feels. This one was super fun. It felt like a reality show at times, which I think may actually be my favorite part about it, because even when the characters were being frustrating and annoying me, I was still fully entertained and having fun. There were times where I couldn't stop listening to it, and I was just super invested in it. There's drama, there's mess, there's a romance that I really liked with good banter, there's ace representation, which we love. Our main character, again, can be frustrating at times, but had a fun personality, and overall, I thought that this was a fun summer read. And then we have The Summer Hikaru Died by Moku Mokuren. And this follows 2 boys who lived in a village. They did everything together, they were best friends, until one day something happens to Hikaru that changes him forever, when all his friend wants him to do is stay by his side. This is a manga series. It is the first series that I think about when I think about summer horror, and it's a series that has really stuck with me ever since I started it, and I spend a lot of time thinking about it when I do read it. And I also spent a lot of time thinking about it when I was watching the anime as well. And I think that's just because of how heartbreaking and emotional it is, and just how dark and twisty and complex the story and especially the relationship is in here. I also feel like they really capture the summer horror aesthetic in a way that I have always wanted and needed and craved. And now also compare other summer horror series too. It's one of my favorites. I would like to reread it and also read more of it this summer because I just can't get over it, and I also won't get over it anytime soon. And finally, we have Wish You Weren't Here by Erin Baldwin. And this follows our 2 main characters, Juliet and Priya, who have agreed to a truce of sorts, as Juliet has never really hated Priya in the way the teen movies say that she should hate the popular girl. And while Priya seems to have everything during the school year, Juliet has the summer at a sleepaway camp where she never feels like she's too much. However, when Priya then shows up to that sleepaway camp and is Juliet's new roommate, everything that can go wrong starts to go wrong, and Juliet will need to find something that she not only likes about her situation, but also Priya, or risk hating the only home that she's ever really had. This one really stole my heart, from the queer YA coming of age themes to the summer camp setting. It felt charming. It can be cheesy and kind of cringy at times, but the book also made that work in a way. That's also part of its charm, due to all the commentary about fitting in and finding your people and just being yourself yourself. Like, this was a lot of fun. I really liked all of the characters. It's also frenemies to lovers and a fun rom-com. There were a lot of moments in this that I really loved between them. I thought that it really captured a feeling of aging out of the camp and looking towards college. I never wanted to stop reading it. Like, I didn't read all of this in one sitting, but it's a book that I feel like I easily could have, and it just quickly became a favorite of mine for sure. Okay, so that is all that I have for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that, and hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye.